Jefferson, or more completely, Jefferson's writings. This is a Library of America book. Like all Library of America books, well, let me change that sentence. This is cloth bound. Like most Library of America books, they do have special editions that are leather bound, but most of them are cloth bound. They all have a ribbon, as far as I know. They're all Smith sewn. You can lay them flat. A sewn binding, not a glued binding. Should last a really long time. And they all have the same dimensions, width and height. And then some of them are thicker, like Jefferson's writings are pretty thick. So, excuse me. So I love the form of the Library of America books. They just feel good in the hand. But that's especially true when they are a little bit thinner. This is one of the thicker ones. It's not as delightful to hold as some of the thinner ones. Okay, this one comes with a slipcover. I've been asked a few times about the slipcovers. The idea is if you're a Library of America member, then you get a slipcover when you order a book. If you're not a member, then you don't get one, but you can buy them separately. So otherwise it comes in with a dust jacket, and when I've gotten mine, I've gotten some in dust jackets, and I take the dust jackets off because they are so much prettier, like this. And the dust jacket doesn't really do much to help it. The dust jacket would prevent dust from getting on the sides, but since they're in a bookshelf and they have other books next to them anyway, the dust jacket is only protecting the spine. And the spine isn't protected in a slipcover either. So spines fade in light, that kind of a thing. And that's just, I don't know, that's something I'm willing to put up with, and to have a pretty, to look at a pretty book rather than hide the pretty book so that it stays pretty, but it's hidden so no one ever gets to see it anyway. All right, let's have a look inside this sort of thick tome. Let's see, let's see how many pages we've got here. We're talking, 1,500 and more pages. They do a really good job. I pointed out how thick it is, but that doesn't seem like a 1,500 page book. That's because one thing Library of America does is print on pretty thin paper. It's thin. Kind of want to be careful with it. It's durable. I've never torn a Library of America book page, but they're pretty thin. I've spent I don't know how many hours of my life trying to separate the pages to turn one page from the other. In any case, so this contains a bunch of stuff, and this is usually how they do it. They have it containing more than just one bit of writing. So this has his autobiography, which is pretty short. In this book, it adds up to like 100 pages or something. And then there's some letters in here, and then some public writings and some miscellaneous stuff. I'll just show you the table of contents. In general, the Library of America books have a chronology at the end and a note on the text. So I find myself, as I'm reading, flipping back to the notes, and puts things in context, lets you know something about what you're reading, which I appreciate. And then an index here. On the inside, there's not much to talk about. The margins are reasonable. The print is very readable. And yeah, so now we're getting to the letters section. In the letters section, you want to look up, who's he writing to? We went and saw the play Hamilton, and came back and said, let's see if we can find something that Jefferson said about Hamilton. And sure enough, he said something about Hamilton, that he was, that Hamilton loved the British system of government too much, and that he was perverted by it. He actually used the word perverted. In any case, I certainly haven't read this cover to cover, but I've dipped in as I've thought of different things. I want to see what Jefferson said about this or that, and it's great to have the ability to do that. So here we have it. That's Jefferson's writings, and it's put out by the Library of America.